Hi YouTube, Darth here. It's been a very light week on the community test environment for Battlefield 4, so this is going to be a shorter video. Most of the changes revolve around the night map, so let's talk about those changes for this week. DICE took a pass on the IRNV and FLIR optics across vehicles and weapons this last week. Previously, they hadn't been very useful on night maps because their technical functionality was tied to the ambient lighting levels. DICE has created an all-new implementation, and the net effect is that night vision optics now work on all light levels and dim the contrast of the surrounding environment while making players and vehicles appear hot. This effect fades as players reach medium range and beyond, and fades away altogether at long range. But these improvements are not without their cost. One thing to note is that the weapon optics have had their field of vision reduced, and dramatically so in the case of the 2x magnification FLIR. You'll see that it's even no longer a circular optic, but is now flattened at the top and bottom. This made the optic very challenging to use for acquiring targets, but still much better at distinguishing them from the surrounding environment. On the other hand, the IRNV has better spatial awareness, but is slightly less high contrast between soldier and background. I tried a variety of scopes, and I think that they have their trade-offs except when it comes to vehicles. In vehicles, you have the full range of vision that you normally have, and now you can see through most everything. Basically, you're given superpowers on these night maps, and I can't really imagine a reason why you'd want to switch to regular vision. Unless, of course, your target was exceptionally far away. But of the night maps, this only really happens on Golmud Railway. The two night maps currently in iteration on the CTE are Golmud Railway and Zavod 311. Most of the changes that went into these two maps in the last week were tweaks to the environment and lighting settings. The ambient lighting on both maps was put more in line with the darkness of Infiltration of Shanghai, and most notably, dense ground fog was added to Zavod 311. I'd like to say that this would normally make Zavod play out a bit differently, but because most people were already using night vision, I can't say that there was much of an effect. I'd still love to see the vehicle selection modified on these levels like Infiltration of Shanghai, but if I could wish for one thing, it would be aerial night vision. In any case, that's pretty much it for the changes this week on the CTE. There were two other changes, one an improvement to netcode functionality and the other being that third-person body hit sounds have been added. To me, both were completely imperceptible in combat, so I didn't break them out into their own sections in this video, but I thought that I would at least mention them. Because we had a light week this past week, I suspect that despite the fact that Hardline is coming out, that this coming week will be very busy on the community test environment. For a long time, content and weapon change rumors have been out there, and there are several prototypes that are still in iteration, chiefly core air gameplay and head glitching. So between all the Hardline videos this week, keep your eyes peeled for more Battlefield 4 CTE news. That's it for this video. If you're new around here, please take a moment and check out my channel. If you like what you see, consider subscribing for more Battlefield content. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, YouTube.